You remember those old school companies where someone would bring a catalog to your house to sell you kitchen gadgets or makeup? You might think that business model died years ago, but Betterware de Mexico, ticker BWMX, turned it into a multi-billion-dollar empire. They're growing incredibly fast, buying up massive legacy brands and paying out huge dividends. But can this direct selling model actually survive our digital world over the next 10 years, especially amongst Gen Z? Stick with me because I'm going to break it all down. So if you don't know what Betterware de Mexico is, it pretty much just sells everyday home and beauty products directly to customers through a big network of consultants. They've been expanding through acquisitions and operate mainly in Mexico and other parts of Latin America. Today I'm covering the important numbers, sharing my personal holdings, and giving you my real, honest opinion on this stock. With that being said, if you enjoy these type of breakdowns, please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't yet so you don't miss the next one. And before we dive in, if you haven't started investing yet but don't know how to, use my Robinhood link down in the description. You get a free stock just for signing up. This stock could be valued between $5 to $200, so please don't miss out on that. It's a great way to get started investing, and you don't have to put any money down. All you gotta do is sign up, so take advantage of that, and you can pretty much just think about it as free money. That's how I initially got into investing, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. I've looked at stocks back in high school, but I didn't know how to get started, and honestly I couldn't get started back when I was in high school, but even a few years after, I still did not know how to invest in stocks. But if you guys wanted to get started, this is a great way. Also, if you're into crypto, check out my Coinbase link down in the description as well. You get $10 in free Bitcoin when you sign up and you put down $5 or more. So for this one, you do have to put money down, but it's another way to get started investing into crypto. So take advantage of that. And with that, let's dive in. So let's talk about Betterware de Mexico and what it actually is. The company started all the way back in 1928 in England. It arrived in Mexico in 1995, and in 2001, Luis Campos acquired the rights and turned it into a fully Mexican company. Betterware became independent and focused solely on direct selling. They went public on the NASDAQ in 2021, and in 2022, they made a big move by acquiring Jafra, or I guess would be called Hafra, I don't know. But it is a well-known beauty and personal care brand with skincare, makeup, and fragrances. Today, they sell home organization products, kitchen items, and beauty products directly to customers through a large network of independent consultants, mainly in Mexico and Latin America. So let's look at the actual numbers on Betterware de Mexico. The company has a market cap of $660 million right now, which honestly is not that bad. The stock currently trades at $17.60 per share. It IPO'd on the NASDAQ, like I mentioned, in 2021. However, from what I can see on Robinhood, it looks like there was some stock trading activity back in 2019, and the earliest stock price that I could find was at $9.82. The all-time high was at $50.02 back in June of 2021. Currently, the dividend yield sits at 6.69%. Beta is around 1.04, meaning it pretty much moves along with the overall market. But if you don't know what beta is, think about it this way. If the overall market goes up by 1%, Betterware de Mexico's stock price will move up 1.04%. And vice versa, the overall market moves down 1%, then Betterware de Mexico moves down 1.04%. Earnings have stayed positive in the last 4 quarters, which shows it has consistent profitability. And interestingly, hedge funds and insiders have been net buyers this year. So let me share my personal position with Betterware de Mexico. I currently own only 5 shares shares at an average cost of $10.17. I bought my first share back in August of 2022 and added more at the dip later that year. Since then, the share price has gone up and I've collected a total of $17.54 in dividends alone. So if I add both the price appreciation and the dividends together, my total return on this stock is at $54.70. And yes, I know that doesn't sound like a lot of money, but I've been watching this stock price closely because I do want to buy in more if the price ever dips again below what my average cost was. And with the dividends, it's a weird setup because they don't pay quarterly dividends, but they do make 4 payments for the year, which feels a bit irregular. They also don't pay consistent fixed amount like other stocks do with their dividends, and they also withhold taxes since the company is in Mexico and I live in the US, but overall it's not that much of a major concern. So the big question is Betterware de Mexico worth investing in? Here's my honest take. On the good side, this is a real business that's been around for decades with a massive network of consultants, and it has shown that it can grow through the acquisitions of Jafra. They've been able to continuously pay dividends with earnings being on the positive side, and it seems like the direct selling model still works very well in Mexico, so there's real potential if they keep expanding. But on the not so good side, the traditional door-to-door model could become outdated as younger consumers shift to Amazon and TikTok shop, especially amongst Gen Z and Generation Alpha. The growth hasn't been explosive, and they're also still heavily tied to Mexico, so economic and currency swings can hit them. So now here's my personal take. I think this stock does have massive potential in the next 10 years if they become more ambitious in how they reach their consumers. I'm not here to tell them that what they're doing is wrong or outdated, but I feel like they can do much more in sales by going a bit more retail on their products and taking advantage of sites like Amazon and TikTok to reach the younger generations. Currently, from what I've read, it's a direct sales model in how they conduct their business, which is fine. I mean, it's been working for them, but I feel like it sort of limits them on how much more money they can bring. And honestly, that's just from what I've read. They could be online selling stuff, but this is only a company with a $660 million market cap, so that's not very big. I think if they want to become more of a dominant player within the next 10 years, they'll need to adapt to the younger consumers that will grow older and be more tech savvy than the older generations where the door-to-door sales was the way to go. But we'll see how this plays out. Again, none of this is financial advice. I'm not telling you guys to buy or sell, so always do your own research. Alright, that's my full honest take on Betterware de Mexico. Let me know what you guys think. Did I miss some important stuff out? Was I inaccurate on this? But if this video helped you understand the stock better or gave you something useful to think about, hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown, and comment down below what stock you guys would like for me to cover next. And if you want to see more breakdowns like this, check out this video that I did on American Coastal Insurance. It should be right here. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one.